So I needed to put permanent blocking underneath this shed that of course won't rot out. So I'm using cinder block, and I'm also using some treated plywood between the block and the posts that are built into that shed. So on the back side of this shed, I still have to jack it up and take the wooden blocks out and install the cinder blocks. Today's cold and blistery. That's the reason for the coveralls and the cotton cap. Even though it's just the middle of October, it's cold outside today, especially with that wind blowing. I'm going to take the chainsaw and kind of square these posts up underneath this thing, make it a little bit easier to block them. This shed will hold all of our water stuff and things for the water system there with the water tank next to it. We're also going to surround that water tank in some walls so the tank will keep from freezing and the stuff in the shed will keep from freezing. I'm going to put a new roof on this shed, insulate it, and skirt it. And the reason for the shed being up so high off the ground is we're going to use the crawl space underneath this shed and another shed that I'm putting next to it as a warm air plenum. I guess it's time for the doggone supervisor to come and play stick. And yes, he is a pain in the butt, but we love him and love all of our animals, and sometimes we just got to stop and play stick. And it takes a little bit of elbow grease to get these blocks in there level both directions and in the right position. The 4x4 I'm using, I run down the siding to make sure I have enough for a 2x4 between the block and the outside of the building. The sheathing and stuff that I'm using for skirting is going to have to fit underneath that siding and not stick out to where the water will run down behind the skirting and cause problems, mold, and issues. I'm just going to use a pressure-treated 2x4 along the ground level to screw the boards to. I have some old form boards that are treated, and so they should make pretty good skirting for this thing. It's about 2 foot off the ground. And then I'll nail a 2x4 up underneath the bottom edge of the building, which will give me something to screw the skirting to. I may just use a 2x2 up underneath the building. It's just something to screw to. So a 2x2 would probably be very sufficient for that. The plan is to build my greenhouse on the left side of this shed. It would be the southern exposure. And the warm air plenum will work in conjunction with the greenhouse. Everything that I'm building there should keep everything warm. There's quite a bit more to that situation as far as the heating and cooling is concerned in this entire project. But I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, so let's see how it works out. This southern side of the shed will be skirted as well until I get the greenhouse built, and then since that skirting is all going to be screwed on, I'll just unscrew the ones I want to take off to circulate the air through the greenhouse and into the plenum. Now, for some reason, when all this was said and done, I was within about 1/8 of an inch of level both ways. And that is just pretty unusual. Very lucky. I didn't have to fight it much.